So, who remembers Transformers from 2006 to 2013? Raise your hand. Come on, raise it. I see you back there. Raise your hand. God, if only those collectors in '06 knew at the time what Classics was going to bloom into. They would have shit themselves with joy. I mean, it led right on to one of the best acronyms this franchise has ever known. Nope, David, that's the wrong one. Ah, yes, good old Chug. For those who aren't unaware, Chug is the acronym used to define any Transformers toy line that has shared a similar design philosophy, that being modernized versions of classic characters from various series. These lines include Classics Henkei, Universe 2008, Transformers 2010, Generations, Reveal the Shield, Thrilling 30, E-Hobby, GDO, Transformers Cloud, Transformers United, Combiner Wars, Unite Warriors, Titans Return, Power of the Primes, War for Cybertron Trilogy, Generation Selects, and Legacy. And for some reason the term Chug offends people sometimes. But today's subject comes from a simpler time when Generations was in its infancy. So early, in fact, that Generations had just lost its name for the first time.
Good God, what a time that was.
Here is Reveal the Shield Special Ops Jazz. Or just Jazz. Copyright's a bitch. As usual, we start in vehicle mode, and I'm already hard-pressed as to what Porsche this is supposed to be. At the time, most of the G1 characters were getting their respective vehicle modes as close as possible, so it's safe to say that this one has to be as well. But my closest approximation is the 911 Sport Classic. And no, I do not buy into TF Wiki saying it's a mix between a Porsche and a Pontiac Solstice, even though I do love me some Bayverse Jazz.
Detailing wise, it's pretty well what you'd expect for a Jazz. I mean, white paint, you got the car mode headlights. I mean, this is very nondescript, but I mean, you've got striping, pretty well Martini style, but of course they can't put that on there. So you got a number 4 instead. You got a number 4 on that side, as well as all the way down the side, you got that striping. And then on the back, you've got taillights that aren't painted in, as well as some exhaust, a spoiler that is adjustable for some reason, not really sure why. And you've got nicely molded wheels that look like different sizes. Yeah, they are, which is kind of Hot Wheels when you think about it. But yeah, he's also got a molded in grille. So yeah, it's basically your basic car design, but it still looks really nice. There's just a couple little details. Oh, left this out. He also has a little door handle there, as well as a gas cap on that side. Doesn't have it on that side, thank God, because they've been doing that a lot for some reason, putting them on both sides on some of these designer type cars. But yeah, he's got most of the real car details, and with that there and this kind of formation, he kind of looks like a Z, just a little bit, which, I mean, I'm not crazy about that being for Jazz, but hey, that's just a little interesting. But overall, it's pretty well detailed.
Feature-wise, as usual for most cars, he rolls pretty good. And also something Hashtag has been neglecting lately. Opening doors. Seriously, I don't know why we don't see this anymore. After the doors are open, you can actually fold up these speakers and replicate that one scene from G1.
This is the perfect spot to test my new speakers, man.
And honestly, that looks so freaking cool. But it gets better when you realize that they're attached by none other than the 3mm clip system. Who gives a shit about Evo Fusion? I want my clip me dues back. And lastly, he's got a rub sign. God, I really hope they bring these things back soon. But overall, I really like the car mode. Let's transform it. Transformation is very reminiscent of the original Jazz, from how the arms fold up with the wheels to the hood folding down as the chest. The only difference that I have a problem with is how the arms work, and that gets a little bit problematic when you go back to car mode because it's hard to shut the damn doors. I mean, it honestly makes me feel like Mr. Incredible when he comes home from work. But I will take what I can get for this amazing robot mode. When you look at it, you can kind of see a little bit of movie, G2, G1, and a lot of IDW and Dreamwave in there. And that can be appreciated. This figure looks really good. The off-white does well with the black and the martini colored accents. And even better, look at this head. This is probably the best head sculpt we've gotten until the Origins version that recently came out. And that's saying something.
Now for robot mode, his detailing is close to being the same, but there's still some new stuff to go over. So the head is nicely done, as I said before. It is so G1 Jazz when you look at it. Now the chest is still the hood of the hood and front end of the robot or robot vehicle mode, and then the midsection has what looks like a radio in the middle, which is cool. It's kind of reminds me of the way Bumblebee is in the Bumblebee movie with his radio in his chest, so that's really cool. Down here you've got some nice detail on the thighs with those little arrows, and then down on the shins you've got some more mechanical detailing, and then right down here you do as well. And really all the colors are still the same with some accents of black, of course, but it all works just really well for this design. I am very happy with how this looks.
Feature-wise, you can still use the 3mm clip speakers in this mode. That'd be kind of ridiculous if he couldn't. And you can make him hold what looks to be a checkout scanner or a label maker. Oh, wait, never mind. It's his gun. You just have to yank it out a little bit to get the full length.
That's what she said. Woo!
And he poses really well. This pose specifically should look familiar to you G1 commemorative collectors and Dreamwave fans. But yeah, this guy can pose so well. Speaking of which,
articulation for this guy is great for this time. Honestly, this is honestly absurd for how good it is for the time. The ball joint at the head goes all the way around, up and down, whatever you need it to do. The shoulders are also ball jointed. They go outward, up, and back. And technically you can get them all the way around, just a little bit hindered by the wheel here. The elbow is double jointed. Yeah, there you go. There it is, right there. So you get a good elbow bend. And then the wrist is on a ball joint swivel, whatever you want to call it there. The waist is on a swivel. You just got to move the back kibble out of the way a little bit. And the knee is also double jointed, as well as there being a thigh swivel. And then the feet are a little bit challenging just with how they're designed, but they can go outward like that, and then you can just use the heel as you please. So yeah, this is really well articulated. I cannot be happier with how this guy is articulation wise.
overall, I think this figure is nearly timeless. It's over 10 years old at this point, and I still haven't replaced it in my collection. It is that good for me, and it still hasn't been topped. The Studio Series 86 mold is cool, but it's not quite what I wanted, and this? No. Just no. So yeah, this ends up being one of 3 figures I'll probably never replace in my collection. The other 2 being Generations Drift and Classics Mirage, respectively. However, this figure does make me sad for a whole other reason. For those of you who don't know, this figure was actually meant to be remolded into Nightbeat. And if you know who I am, I'm a major Nightbeat fan, and I was really excited when this figure was going to come out. They even had promo images and everything getting ready for it. But to my disappointment, the final release was just a remold of Thrilling 30 Bumblebee, even though it still had the Jazz mold on the box art. Hasbro, you sons of bitches, you better give us a Nightbeat in Legacy, I swear to God. But yeah, I'll recommend this thing to anyone. This thing is awesome.
As always, guys, I've been Treebot Reviews. Thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, like, subscribe, share it with your friends, and I'll see you all in the next one. Keep growing your collections.